It was turned out to be a great service. I had actually thought that it wouldn't be very well attended the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I got here, it was a great crowd, and I really had a good time that Sunday, and so I thought I would start off my week with really a fun activity, and that was getting the caroling organized for the nursing home. You know, Christmas Day we're going caroling. I thought, well, that'll be a fun thing to organize, and so I got going on that Monday morning at 9 o'clock. I called one of the local nursing homes, and I got transferred to the crabbiest person you've ever talked to in your life. The woman jumped me. She jumped me through the phone line. You would have thought I had asked to come in and take blood from the poor people. I was like, it's just caroling and Christmas cookies. I know we'll sing off key, but come on. So she acted like I was wanting to bring pestilence to their front door. And I talked to her a little bit and quickly got off the phone with her. But the mistake I made is I took on her energy. I took her energy on. And I thought to myself, well, maybe she's right. COVID's going around, flu season's here. Maybe it's not a good idea. That action, what I was doing, that behavior, Raymond Charles Barker, one of the big giants in our teaching, he called that arguing against your good. Arguing against your good. That's what I was doing. And so I let that energy affect me till Thursday. That's a long time. Now, I did work on other projects. It wasn't like it had overwhelmed me, but I put that particular project on hold, worked on other stuff. Thursday morning, I called down to Bayview. That's the nursing home we used to go to before COVID when we did this for year after year. And I called down there. I got a young lady down there, and she could not have been more of a delight. She said they were thrilled at the idea of us coming down there. And she said that she had done prayer work because she said she had no money. She has a good number of people down there who won't have any place to go on Christmas Day, won't get visited on Christmas Day. And she said she had been praying about, well, what can I do to make their lives better? And here I happened to show up. And she said, you're an answer to my prayers. An answer to my prayers. Isn't that amazing to think that we can be an answer to people's prayers? That we're that powerful. Now, sometimes we take on people's energies for the negative, and we want to be careful about that, but sometimes we get positive energy, and we want to express gratitude for that. Because that positive energy can pump us up and can really encourage us and inspire us to get out and do the good we're seeking to do. Later that day, I had to run to the post office. My post office is kind of odd. It's a post office / bookstore, like you might find in a village in Britain somewhere. It's like, where do they come? I've never seen one of these in America before. But that's what it is. So I had to run off to the post office because I've become rather obsessed. I think that's the right title for it, for the Dolly Parton rock and roll album. I don't know if you've heard that or not, but I really like it. I've shipped it off to several people, pre-Christmas gifts, And so I was going to the post office. As I was headed to the post office, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a woman, and she reminded me of my sister who died several years ago. And it was just in that instant. It was almost like I saw her. Just in that instant. And as that happened, I began to think of her a little bit, my sister Sandra. Sandra lived in a small town in South Georgia. She knew everybody in the town. When you would go visit her, the whole town would come through. And she just could keep them, the whole place in stitches, the whole time you were there. And she would boiled peanuts were her specialty. She wasn't a cook at all, but she could do boiled peanuts, and she'd have people laughing. It was wonderful. She told a story about the time for Christmas. She had a blended family. She had 3 little daughters, all doorstep. Her husband was a mechanic, and for a while they had tough times, but then they pulled themselves up after a couple of years. And for Christmas, she was so proud of it. She got a named brand vacuum cleaner from the new Walmart. Walmart had just showed up in Odom, Georgia. That's the little town. She had gotten a name brand vacuum cleaner, and she was so proud of it. she was proud of it. Well, the thing didn't even last to Valentine's Day. It fell apart, or it wasn't up to her standards. That's probably a little bit closer to the truth. So she took it back into Walmart, just ranting and raving about those people coming to her little small town, passing off shoddy supplies to the innocent people of Odom, Georgia. Well, the little lady that was running the customer service, she was just so apologetic. She was like, oh, from the bottom of Sam Walton's heart, we all are, we'll do anything we can. Look here, this is what we'll do. We'll pay you, we'll give you a refund. She didn't even have a receipt. We'll give you a refund on this vacuum cleaner. You go pick the one up you want. They called the appliance department guy to come with her. Pick it, get the one you want, go through the register and pay for it, and blessings on your journey. So Sandra went back to the appliance place with the manager of it. Of course, she had to find the one that was highest up on the shelves. They had to get the forklift to get it down. She's still complaining the whole time all of this is going on. She got the poor guy to take it out to her car and load it up in her car because she had a bad back. And then she just jumped into the driver's seat and drove off without ever paying for the vacuum cleaner. She called me up and she says, Ken, I'm so embarrassed. I can't go back there. Don't worry about it, Sandra. I said, those people, they knew what was going on. They were just happy to get you out of the store. They thought it was a bargain. Here, give her a vacuum cleaner. Well, she did go back to Walmart. And she got the same lady that was at the customer service. They became friendly, and Sandra eventually explained what she did for a career. My sister had a wonderful talent, and that was that she could help disabled people find jobs. Her boss told me, he said, she really had a talent for that. And so she hooked up with Walmart. Walmart at that time was looking for getting jobs to disabled people, and her and that lady at Walmart got many, many people jobs and allowed them to have some dignity in life and to live independently. And think of all the parents, how grateful they were to see their young people out, being able to earn their own way. So I was headed to the bookstore / post office with that attitude. And I got in the post office, and it was like I had taken her energy on. And I looked around at all these used books they have. They have all these lovely used books, paperbacks. I mentioned to the manager what we were going to do for Bayview Nursing Home on Christmas Day. And I said, and I normally would never do anything like this. Normally, I'm just kind of business-like, but I was in a talkative mood, and I saw these books, and I was like, you should give us a discount. We'll buy some books for you at discount, and we'll take them to Bayview. He thought about it for a minute, and he said, you don't have to worry about that. I'll give you 20 books free. Now, see, I would be happy with a discount. He gave me something greater. Sometimes Spirit has a greater idea for us than we have for our own selves. And as goofy as it sounds, I do think my sister's energy was with me. Sylvia Brown, she was an amazing psychic. Kennedy Schultz would be horrified if he thought I was referencing Sylvia, but she was a great psychic. She said that our family comes around on special days, on holidays and birthdays. And so if you're out and about and all of a sudden you think of someone who's in spirit just out of the blue, that may be their energy showing up. And when they do, you can deliberately, because when we think of people who've passed on, it's very human nature to think of their death, the pain in leaving. That's natural. But if you can stop yourself and say, wait a minute, I'm going to think of the laughter they brought into my life. I'm going to think of the joy. I'm going to think of the fun. I'm going to think of our connection. If you can make that pivot from a place of grief to a place of joy, then that's a real place of power. That's what Christ did. You think about it, all his ministry was about healing. And what do we focus on? We focus on the crucifixion. It's natural, but there's great energy and strong emotions that can generate healings and blessings. And if you think of someone that tugs at your heart a little bit, just know that's how much you love them. That's why that is happening. That's how much you love them, how much they meant to you. Now, here's the interesting thing. It seems like I've been having a lot more what we called, and Carl Jung first started talking about this, synchronicities. Things just kind of popping up seemingly for no reason, and for them to be larger and better than I had envisioned. And what I'm noticing is if I link it to a larger cause than just myself, if I'm trying to work with, like, getting Caroline down at a nursing home, getting our Venus Manley Scholarship Program up and thriving again, or doing work with the Betty Griffith Shelter, it seems like I'm able to step into a greater current of energy than I have previously. And of course, I'm using my affirmative prayer. That's what we teach here. This is the core of our teaching, praying as Jesus did, praying, believing. But it seems that things flow much easier when I'm directing them towards a greater good. When I first came to Science of Mind, they would teach us affirmative prayer, and they would say, treat for parking spaces, relationship, and prosperity. And all those things are great. Don't get me wrong. You find me a prime parking space at Publix on, Christmas Eve, I love you. It's good to have all that stuff, and we want life to be as good and easy as possible and joyful. But what if we could start using this energy to make a big, huge difference in the world? What if we use this energy to empower the good we want to see? I've been disappointed this past week because some of my fervent prayers, and I really believed it was possible. I really believed it was possible that a ceasefire in Israel could hold. I really hoped for it, and I believed for it, and I prayed for it. But there seems to be other energies that have got to work themselves out. But it doesn't stop me from doing my work. My work is to keep praying for it. My work is to keep seeing things unfold in a greater good and to do what I can with what's right in front of me. This is what Jesus did on the cross. On the cross, he looked at the man next to him who had cried out for comfort. Can you imagine this? He's been nailed to a cross, and the person next to him cries out for comfort, and he's able to give comfort. This day you'll be with me in paradise. This is what we're wanting to do, is even when we're going through the turmoil of the world, can we lift ourselves up and to help out where we can? Can we step into a larger role? Can we step into our power, making our thinking a source of spirit possibilities made manifest? And as we become this resource center for creation, we'll find we're going to be naturally supplied. We'll be naturally supported because we're on God's payroll, and there are very good benefits on its payroll. So we don't have to worry with the small stuff. My teacher said, the more you get, the less you'll want. It was a very profound thought for me, because what he was talking about was the more you feel this connection with spirit, that you will be more in comfort and you'll be ease. Life won't be such the struggle. It need not be the struggle. In Scripture, it says, first seek wisdom, and all things will be added. That looking for the better possibilities and being grateful for the abundance before us, we will be supplied. Christ said, this is the water from the well. If you drink, you'll thirst no more. The goal is for us to know how powerful we are, how important we are, how needed and necessary we are. Spirit called you by name from stardust, and it has put you on a mission. It's not an accident. It's not by chance that you walk the soil of St. Augustine. You are here to do something amazing. And Spirit is closer to you than your next breath. And this connection is what we're longing for, to know that we've made a difference. This is the essence of our journey, that we do have power. We are significant. We're indispensable and needed in the grand tapestry of life. And it's not some distant dream, but it's within our reach, this connection that can empower our possibilities and potential to transcend the ordinary and reaffirm the extraordinary. And you are extraordinary. The Spirit has gifted you within your heart and soul the light that can transcend and illuminate even the darkest night of fear and doubt. The bold and bright new morning is breaking, and we are a part of that revelation, a day of Spirit's love and glory made manifest for us and through us. And today is the day, and we're up to it all, and God is calling us out. This is the truth in your life this morning. It's the truth in mine, and so it is.